You could have an acre.
Okay. Well, right now we are in. It is up to us to take care of the property that is joining it, but it is our property. So therefore, if we was to say, well, we want to put a half an acre in our name just to make this thing out to 1 acre, we could not do that because it is so many heirs to this property.
Yeah, it would have to be put in her name.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's so many heirs to this property.
Well, if anything would take place to start anything taking place, we've got to have an acre.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to have an acre. We can make it an acre. We can do that.
That would be the first thing that would have to happen, is you have an acre of property.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the first thing, and then if you did not, you could not do the single wide. But like I said, we've got some small Class A manufactured homes. I know if you go down Sand Hill Acres on Burkitt Street, there's a very small Class A manufactured home.
The people actually bought, those school classrooms.
Uh-huh.
They sell them. I see them for sale all the time on Facebook. But they bought one of those. It's a Class A manufactured building.
Uh-huh.
And they put a little kitchen and bathroom in it, and they live in it.
I understand that's easy for y'all to say, but I'm saying what I'm saying is there is a place where there was an existing home that should be replaced. Her home, she should have a home to go back there if that's where she wants to put it at. That's what I'm saying. It was already existing. She couldn't help it that her house caught on fire.
Right.
She couldn't help that part. And I'm saying if we have to go back and ask for rezoning, then that's what we want to be put down for, rezoning. Okay. We only have to November, but if it takes longer than that, then we're going to keep on coming back here until we get answers. Because right now,
we're giving answers.
I mean, until we get results. Let me correct that. Until we get results, because she has a half acre. There was a home there previously. I don't understand why she can't have a home put back there.
Because in the zoning ordinance,
Yeah,
it says that.
Because it was.
Okay, right there. That's where we want to go. We want to go back and have it rezoned.
Okay, no, you want to go back and have the zoning ordinance changed.
Well, what do we need to do that?
Well, what I'm saying is that if we do that and we take that on, then that changes everything in the town
That's
and
everything.
in the
You can't
EGJ.
just change one little.
Yeah, we can't just change one thing. It would have to change everything.
Well, we're worth changing everything. We are worth it. These are people. These are human
I
lives.
totally understand that.
We are worth it.
But at some point in time, the town of Candor decided that once the single wides were gone, the ones that were there were grandfathered in, that they could not bring in more single wides. Is what I'm telling you. And
what I'm saying, since it's the town of Candor's responsibility and it's telling us this, then why can't the town of Candor grandfather her in a home where her existing home was located?
Ma'am, I understand what you're going through. I do. I sympathize with you. I understand.
I understand that, but I'm not speaking from a pity point of view.
No,
I'm speaking from a point of view. If you can grandfather in certain things, why can't she have it grandfathered in to have her single home come to the existing place where her home was located for over 50 years?
Just what I told you, the zoning ordinance would have to be changed.
And that's why I said, well, let us go and do the zoning thing then.
Well, I can tell, and we can move forward on some issue like that, but what I'm telling you is that I don't know that this board is gonna make any changes in that zoning ordinance, because it would allow other single wides anywhere in the town of Candor or in the ETJ. That's why I was saying that one alternative, I'm trying to give you some good information, one alternative to that is the fact that you could possibly find a Class A manufactured home, be it a smaller one if you need to, for the same price as a single wide, to put back in there. And then you would the only thing that you would have to do is acquire the half acre, and then you've already got a home that can go right on that spot. That's what I'm trying to,
Has Clayton Holmes said anything? Have you talked to them about the Class A? Have they said anything to you about it?
Mm-mm.
They could probably talk to you at least about that over the phone too.
Mm-mm.
Just explain to them the situation that you're in with the class, and just
Yeah.
ask them what they have in a Class A.
Well, they had already called down here and was told what we needed. So they said, well, this is the only thing that we can come up with for y'all.
What he said, he asked me, he said, I need to know this address, is it zoned for a single wide? I said, no, it is not. It's zoned for a double wide or Class A manufactured home.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, ma'am.
Well, see, she already told him Class A. She said it herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm saying.
So he came back and he told us, he said, well, we can only go by what they tell us.
Right.
So there's already approval out there. And, you know, like I said, at the 3 other companies, it's the same thing, approved for a single wide. It's going to be hard to get them approved for the Class A home or whatever that is. I have no idea, but it's going to be hard to get them approved for it. I do believe, considering her.
What I'm saying, ask Clayton Holmes what they have in a Class A type. It may be something similar. You may have to ask them directly because.
Mm-hmm.
it
Well,
may be
he's
something
already
a little
done
bit
showed us what we could get approved for, and he showed us,
And the women did too.
And see, like I said, we all on disability, and we shouldn't have to suffer like this, because those that stay down there in their area, they can't afford these high-priced houses. I can't afford that high-priced house. Even with my mother's income, it can't be afforded. And that's why we're here pleading today.
And they got approved with both their incomes together. That's how they were approved, because I came up and I said, look, you need a home, she need a home. Y'all got to pull together so that y'all will have somewhere decent to live.
Right. I understand. Yeah. And I hope that I've explained it where you understand kind of where we're coming from.
I understand where you're coming from, but my thing is the board is here now. Right. We're not talking about in the future. We're not talking about in the past. We're talking about the people that are here now that make the decisions on whether this thing gets zoned or not zoned. And so if they are not saying anything now, what are you going to say when it's time to come up and rezone or not zone? That's what I want to know. Because first of all, I'm going to talk to my family about the other half an acre to get the acre. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Second of all, I'm going to come back here and ask to be put back on the agenda again.
Okay.
Third of all, I'm going to be waiting for a response from y'all. And it's going to continue to be a back and forth thing, because I'm not going to give in, because this is all my family has.
Right. I understand, and I hope you understand that we have tried to give you some answers to actually what you can do. And the first thing that you got to do is you got to get another half an acre. It's got to be a 1 acre lot.
I got that down.
Yeah, and then it's going to have to be a double wide or a Class A manufactured home. Or if you don't go with the Class A manufactured home, if you're still adamant on doing the single wide, then we'll have to advertise.
Yeah.
There'll have to be public hearings,
Like
because it won't just be a case of you versus the town of Candor
Right.
on one piece of property. It will be a case of changing that zoning ordinance for the entire zoning area.
Right. And in a way, that might be a good thing.
Well,
Because if we look at it here in Candor, we have a lot of businesses that are not here, that was here 20 years ago. We have a growing population here in Candor. The kids that we used to have, when I first came in here the first time, my children was like 2 and 3 years old. Now they like 25, 28. So we have a growing population, and that does not necessarily mean that everybody is going to have sufficient income. As the population grows, so does people on disability. And something needs to be in place for these people that are disabled. Something needs to be in place for these people who don't get the income that, say, the working class may get. And if we got space to put them, then let us put them there.
Well, and I understand what you're saying, but we have to follow the zoning ordinances that are laid in front of us. But I do appreciate you coming tonight and, some things to work on, getting that other half acre and possibly trying to see if you can't get that Class A manufactured home, because that would make it a lot simpler. And if that's not the course, then you can proceed with, what you said, coming back to the.
Now, I still want us down on the agenda for the hearing. I still want us down because I'm not starting back over.
Right.
So I still want to be put down for that and put the public hearing out there.
Okay, well, in order to do that, you have to submit a zoning, a rezoning application.
Okay, hold up. Let me write it down.
Okay, and I can get you that.
Okay.
It's $150. It goes to the board.
Okay.
The board looks at that, talks about it, and decides whether or not they want to proceed with having a public hearing. And then if that's the case, that's 60 days. And then that's another 30 days before they can have the public hearing.
Okay.
It has to be advertised.
Has to be advertised, yeah.
Okay.
And then at the public hearing, all of the community has an opportunity to voice. And, but we've got to have another half acre.
Okay.
That has to be, nothing will take place without an acre lot.
That's right.
Okay.
Just nothing will take place until that happens.
Okay. Well, we were told prior to that if we was to break down into lots, that single wides could come over there.
That's still in the zoning.
I don't know. Now, in our ETJ down here,
Uh-huh.
there, all of that zoning is under the county jurisdiction. It's not ours.
Okay.
So I don't know anything about breaking it down into lots. I don't know anything about that.
Well, is this address, and what was it, 176?
176 Candy Drive.
Uh-huh.
Candy,
Candy.
C-A-N-D-I-E.
Is this in the town of Candor?
No, we're out. We out of city limits.
ETJ, it's over there past where Miss Long lives.
On that toward Mr. Hicks?
Right.
Yes.
Right out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be under county jurisdiction anyway, wouldn't
No,
it?
it's within our mile, but see, we relinquished all of that to the county
Okay, but
up there.
That's what we thought too, that it was in the county's jurisdiction, because we don't receive any services from Candor, except for if we call for the fire department, they do come out. So excuse me for saying that. Yes, we do receive some services from Candor, but the majority of our services come from Montgomery County. And we're on the map. Sometimes we're not even considered Candor. We're considered Jackson Springs. GPS, UPS. GPS. We're considered Jackson Springs.
and two, with not being familiar much.
Mm-hmm.
Really pursue exactly what is available to you in a Class A home.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to give you a
That
little
may
bit of
be the
advice.
answer right there.
That just may be the answer, and it may be for the same price without you having to do all this. You know,
Mhm.
you could get that, and it'd be, because I know there are some out there, because I've seen people that have gotten them, that we've had, what I'm trying to say is, you're not the first one that's faced this type of dilemma
Right.
like this, and we have had people that have went out and they found a Class A, it just says on it, Class A manufactured home. That is sufficient to cover all the zoning, requirements. That's why, that was just a recommendation.
Yeah, we're not excluding anything. I actually had wrote that down and everything so that we can continue to still look, even though, we still going through this. But we still do want to know about the zoning, because we really need to know who we are. Are we Candor or Jackson Springs?
You are in the ETJ for Candor, extraterritorial jurisdiction, which means that you are not in the town of Candor, but we control the actual zoning out there.
Okay.
For 1 mile outside of the city limits, that's, and we do provide you fire service
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.